RVG, aka Ian Hawk. Just come on this channel and that just to speak about the market today. Obviously, this isn't looking as good as the other videos and that, but it's just easier for me to make shit like this so I can give you it on a regular basis, you know what I mean, like a weekly or whatever the fuck. But basically, we're gonna look at the markets today, see what's happening, see, you know, what's going down. So we've experienced a bit of a, I don't know if people are calling it like a bull trap or some shit, but basically, if I just go to the 15-minute chart, we'll just go in there just to make it a bit more exciting to look at. So if we look here, literally this weekend, we experienced a big drop from 63. Well, actually, tumbling down from near 67k, which is ATH territory. So obviously, you can see the downward spiral going here. What's pretty much happened is people are thinking it's what's called a bull trap, and people are screaming that this bit here is going to be a fake out because a lot of people are still wanting to see it to the downside a bit more. But I don't believe that's what's going to happen. I mean, I do still feel like a retracement to the 50k, you know, between 55 and 58k area makes sense. But do I believe it's going to happen yet? Not too sure, to be honest with you. Not too sure. We'll just have to see how the next few days go. So obviously I'm making this on the 25th. And yeah, so this is the state of Bitcoin at the minute. Well, I mean, we're hovering still quite high. I remember yesterday on Sunday, we actually got sub 60k. So I do feel like at the minute, this pump here might be a bit of artificial inflation. Again, we'll see through the week. It's hard to know at this point. But I think a retracement to this sort of, I don't know, 50k area, like between, I'd say like 54k and like 58 sort of k, this kind of area is probably where we're going to tap before we, you know, make these new all-time high sort of fucking mad ranges that everyone's calling, you know. So before we go like up here or whatever the fuck, wherever we go, 80k, that's what I'm calling anyway. Before we go there, I still feel like a retracement to that range would sort of make sense. So that's how we're looking in sort of Bitcoin today. Obviously, this is the market leader, so you know we always follow this to sort of understand how the market's moving. So if we just quickly move on to Bitcoin Dominance, which is obviously, you know, a great thing to talk about when you know, when we're talking about altcoins and trying to make some money on it. So obviously we've come down from these highs purely because obviously we pumped up to around near the 67k mark. So, you know, we've come down from that point, and altcoins have rose a bit more in market cap. So we've obviously come down, but I still feel like, in fact, let me change this to the 4-hour chart just to so we've got a better idea of what we're looking at here. So basically, at the minute, we're about 45% market cap dominance in Bitcoin. I can still see this. I don't know, is this the brush? Yeah. I can still see this, you know, rising up a bit more and then, you know, curving down to this sort of like just above 43 range. Again, this is all just estimations and shit, but from what I'm seeing, I can see in early November, I think the alts will get a big pump because we've not seen, you know, that huge parabolic pump that we're looking for in alts yet, which, you know, it's no sight for worry because obviously we see Bitcoin and it's flying and the ETFs are out and shit like that. But I definitely think we can still break sub 40 in this bull run. I'm not sure when, but I feel like it's bound to happen. You know, just even stuff like Ethereum and that kind of shit. Like, people know how valuable that is and that will be in the future. And Sol, FTM, there's so many different coins that bring in value that aren't just Bitcoin, you know, just standard Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin is key to understanding crypto and where the markets are moving, but I still think that over the next few years, we're going to see a massive rise in DeFi, crypto gaming, and the NFT space, and we see more mainstream companies adopting it. I can definitely see that coming through. So as that happens, I definitely think this dominance is going to go down a bit, you know. I'm not saying Bitcoin won't be the king, because it will be, and most likely for my lifetime it probably will be. But still, these altcoins need this big push up that we've all been expecting, and I feel like it will be happening soon, you know. So if we look at this sort of range that we're at the minute, so the green line that we're looking at the minute, we can see that we've been here before, and a lot of the times it's always gone below it. So I'm hopeful, you know. So I'm not saying put all your money in altcoins or anything like that, but, you know, be wary that we can see an upside to altcoins very, very soon. So looking at Ethereum, we hit over the 4,000 mark the other day, which is a kind of big moment for Ethereum, to be fair. You know, it's quite a big move. The 4K mark, that's where we got to in the previous bull run, obviously. Same with Bitcoin, obviously we hit that, you know, ATH target a few days back when we hit 66k. But yeah, so Ethereum's looking hella nice at the minute. I mean, if you know any meme coins or anything like that, probably worth picking up some Ethereum for that space in the bull run. I'm not saying the meme coin run is live right now, but what I am saying is that it might be worth picking up some Ethereum / BNB for that part of the bull run if you're into meme coins or that kind of thing. Doge, we'll look at this one here. So obviously we've got some Elon endorsement which pumped it up a bit, because he said that he didn't hold SHIB or whatever. But at the end of the day, I don't see why these projects and things are actually contacting big people, because when they do talk about meme coins, they talk about them in a negative light. Either that, or they push their meme coins and don't push any others. So I don't see any point in actually, you know, these, you know, for example, SHIB and stuff like that, reaching out to people like Elon Musk, because, you know, that community, the Shiba community, can run by itself. It's not really an issue. But they're sort of approaching these big figures and stuff like that, and basically trying to get them to endorse it, but instead they can condemn it, and, you know, that makes the price go all over the place. But yeah, so Doge, the way we're looking at the minute, I can definitely see it turn to the upside, especially in the November sort of time. So if we look here from previously, we're still nowhere near the all-time high, which is expected, really. But when the time comes, the time will come for Doge. Again, with Shiba, it's the same, and most meme coins, it's the same. When the time comes, it will come. You know, it will go parabolic. But yeah, no predicting when, because it's a fucking meme coin. But yeah, so next, ADA, great hold for me personally. I think ADA, you know, if we look here, we can see it sort of consolidating between the 2.4 and $2 range, which indicates to me that we're going to see some sort of push to the upside very soon, which again backs up my theory about the altcoins in November. But yeah, great hold. I think this ADA is going to be one of the big coins in the next year, maybe the next bull run as well. Especially even this bull run, to be fair. I'm not making any predictions because I don't feel like I'm liable to. But yeah, great holds. If you're not holding an ADA, probably buy some soon or buy some now. Just because obviously this sort of ranges. If we look at the green line, we can see that it's actually cutting through a lot of days, this range. So, you know, it's probably a positive sort of time to pick it up, because if you look here, it's sort of near the all-time high sort of area. So I you know, it's a good price. Get into dollar cost averaging and check it out yourself and see when you want to get them. So now XRP. Obviously, this one's more bound to other events rather than the actual chart itself. But if we look at the chart, It's still hovering above that $1 range, which is kind of nice. Don't know when we'll see a breakout to the upside. I'm guessing it all falls on this SEC case. And by the looks of things don't look great at the minute. We're actually seeing more, tolerance for Stellar, which is another stable coin. So I don't know if XRP will pop as big as everyone expects. That's not to say it won't, but what I'm saying is, you just need to be careful in what we're investing in here. So obviously Ripple's a big company, and they actually integrate with the Bank of England, as I mentioned on a previous episode. So, there's potential there, but from what the charts are saying and what the case with the SEC is saying, I'd just be cautious. That's all. I'm not saying pull out. I'm not saying put in. Just be cautious, So if we look at MATIC, also known as Polygon, we can see some strong upside here. This is great movement for MATIC. I also believe that we've come up quite a lot here. Hang on. So from the first, so I'm just trying to calculate my own percentage gains here from when I bought in last. So yeah, I'm up 50% there. So that's some great movement from MATIC there. Again, this is going to be one of the bigger ones in the bull run, I feel like. Anything sort of NFT orientated or has anything to do with NFTs, I feel like will be big anyway. So like FTM, Sol, Mike, that kind of thing. So yeah, great movement there. Sol, again, I don't want to repeat myself, but some major moves here. People are really seeing the positive side of Solana. And to anyone that picked it up, you're in the bag right now. So yeah, you should be happy for that. Also, if you're holding Sol, I'd consider looking at possibly getting into the NFT game and maybe investing into some NFTs and start trading across the marketplaces and stuff, because Sol is a great like sort of it was secondary blockchain built on Ethereum, but it's a great sort of currency to use for NFTs, purely because a lot of people are attaching Sol to NFTs, and if you're investing in NFTs in this early game, and there's not a lot of NFTs that you've bought, if you know what I mean, there's not very in stock, if that makes sense. I can see you making a lot of money from Sol as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, because again, the way that I'm seeing this at the minute, we could see it, by this bull run, we could see it at least to like $300, because of how much backing the coin has got. So if I just look here, go back onto the watch list again. Chillz. So another great coin, and one of my biggest holds, because of the fan tokens and stuff. I really like Chillz and its ecosystem. I think it's really, sort of revolutionary, especially to the sports game. We need that sort of blockchain integration into real life. So, and this gives a really good use case. So there's no reason not to purchase this at some point, purely because I've known about this for a while. I've even bought in the all-time highs and stuff. So yeah, great coin. I recommend you look at the Socios app and sort of get involved that way if you feel so inclined. But just looking at it at the minute, we're still consolidating between that 35 sort of area and the 30p area. So again, a lot of movement expected in early November, I feel like myself. Break up or break down, I don't know, but we'll see. Next currency, RLC. Another great hold, another hold that I've been holding for a while now, since July time. So yeah, quite a while. Um, Again, looking at the chart here, we're seeing it actually form lower highs, which is not great, but it's all about the application of the coin itself. You know, we can't always go off charts themselves. But yeah, we'll see how this one works. Again, I don't know if it's a great pickup, but because I've known the project for a while personally, and you know, quite active in the Telegram and stuff like that, the great developers that work on this. So yeah, I'm personally invested in this coin, but that's because of the fundamentals itself, not due to what I'm seeing in the charts for flips. So you know, do your own research and look into this coin yourself and see what application it has before you go around throwing any money in it. So just the next coin that we'll look at is Crypto.com's coin. So I feel like this is a given that this is going to blow up at some point. Purely because Crypto.com is one of the easiest apps to use. I personally use it myself. In fact, I'll leave my referral code in the description, so if you want to join, feel free. It's a great app for, you know, just getting in to crypto. Purely because you can set up recurring purchases and stuff like that and just leave it running in the background. I think it's just the UI is great. The amount of coins on there is relatively good. I personally use Crypto.com as like my main holding sort of exchange, alongside Binance, obviously. So obviously on Binance, I just send across USDT or on Binance Smart Chain from Crypto.com to Binance, and that's where I do all my futures trades and shit like that. But yeah, obviously the reason this is going to blow up is because of the Crypto.com coin staking. So obviously Crypto.com coin staking allows you to earn annual interest on your coins and annual interest on dollars and stuff like that. So if you have this coin early on now, before it blows up, you will be able to use that functionality, especially the cards that you can use and stuff like that, because all you do for that is you get these Crypto.com cards. So say if you stake 4,000 Crow, you get special benefits. For example, they pay for your Netflix and Spotify and stuff like that, and you can also pay with crypto, which is kind of cool. So yeah, another great pickup. If you've not actually got an account at Crypto.com, like I say, I'll leave one in the description below. Great app, really intuitive, and if you're new to crypto, this is the app I'd go for personally. If you're in the UK, you can also use card to pay on Crypto.com to buy currency and stuff like that. So, you know, it's got that kind of integration. So it's great for beginners, like I say. I'm going to ignore SLP because I'm not too involved. I literally reviewed that for a trade that I was making at the time. So FTM, you know, making great moves again. From my trend line there, you could tell that was sort of going to blow, and it did pass the $2 mark. So that's great movement to see. It's pushing towards that $3 mark now. Like I say, FTM, it's got a really expansive ecosystem involved with NFTs and stuff like that. So I can only see this getting bigger, really. I don't know how big. I'm not going to predict the price yet, but and I'm not saying to buy now, and I'm not saying to buy later. But just watch this coin, and if you've not got any, probably get a bag soon. So Luna, Terra, the Terra blockchain, is looking still kind of lit. To be fair, we're still above any price that we were at. Funny thing about this coin, I actually remember. So KSI has his own crypto account on Twitter. I don't know if everyone's familiar with that one, but he actually told people to buy Luna back here, man, like at $8. So I obviously bought it back then, but I sold it around $30. So I didn't realize the full gains off that because I didn't realize the potential of this coin. But I've since filled my bag in one of these dips. So yeah, I'm ready to ride this wave. I think you should do your own research on Luna and the Terra blockchain, because what it offers is something really kind of unique. So I can only see this getting bigger and bigger. At the minute, that the price that I'm seeing it at the minute, I'm seeing it as like a how Sol was back here. So obviously, I don't know if you know, but Sol was was at around $40 in the August July sort of time, and now it's at like 200 or whatever the fuck. I can see this sort of, you know, the boundaries that it's working with at the minute. I can see it pushing out at least to, you know, $60-$80 by the end of this bull run, at least. Again, just throwing random numbers out there, really, but I still think there's potential in the fundamentals of that project. So we'll just look through a few others as well. We'll look through VChain. So actually, I invested this, you know, quite early on in October, so around this sort of time, like around 10p area. So, you know, we've seen a bit of an upside. It's quite nice to see, especially I know there's a quite big community that hold VChain, because in the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be the standard for blockchain usage in supply chains, I believe, from what I've seen. So obviously we're in an uptrend right now. If you look here, so I'll just create a little trend line that we can sort of work off. So when I review this again, we sort of know where we're sort of looking at. Obviously that's just rough. It's a rough estimate, but yeah. So if we keep alongside that trend line, I can see VChain maybe hitting like that at $20, 20 cent mark, which is the all-time high. So that's going to be pretty nice to see. I click the wrong fucking thing every time. So let's also review another coin. So BNB, another great coin, pretty much no-brainer in my opinion. I think Binance, not just the exchange, but the Binance Smart Chain itself is a really intuitive system, and I feel like a lot of developers will find utility in it. So I'm seeing this as like another sort of Ethereum, so it's bound to be big. So if you've not got a bag of BNB, why not go and start holding? So fuck me, I didn't realize how cheap it was back then, man. Jeez. But yeah, so looking at where we are at the minute, again, we're in an uptrend. We're actually reaching where we was in August time. So I think as soon as we get past that point, and maybe towards the November sort of beginning, mid time, we might actually see it boost to like the 500, between 500 and 550 sort of range, because I feel like there's a lot of resistance at 500, as you can see there. You can see it's sort of like, if we follow the dotted lines across, we can sort of see that it's never really getting past like 510 or whatever. So hopefully we see some upside to this. Again, I don't see why not, because Binance Coin has one of the fastest transaction times I've seen. That's why I normally send it. Send USDT in Binance Smart Chain, just purely because it's so quick. I don't know if that's because the network's not being utilized or what, but yeah, great currency to invest in. So Bitcoin Gold, I've spoken quite a lot about this one personally to some of my personal friends and stuff. Yeah, this has a tendency to go quite mad in the bull runs. So it's one to keep your eye on, you know. So I actually picked some up back here, like around 40 and 50 quid I paid for it. Not quid, fucking dollars or whatever. But yeah, this always tends to go parabolic in the bull runs, just purely because of the name, Bitcoin Gold, and the lack of Bitcoin Gold, like the supply circulation, pretty much. So yeah, I can definitely see this in the bull run reaching that $100 mark, probably further on. We'll see. And then the final one that I'm gonna actually look at today is one that I've been collating for a while. It's actually Theo. So Theo, I bought some at like 9 cents or something like that quite a while back. So just looking back here, yeah. So it was quite a while back. It was in February sort of time, February, January. So yeah, it's still really up. Obviously we've not hit these highs where we were earlier, but I still think this coin has a lot left to do. If you look across the board here, it's kept a relatively consistent price. It's not even dropped below the 10 cent mark by the looks of things. So, you know, it's a really stable sort of currency, and, you know, start filling your bags up. I don't know if it'll pop in this bull run or the next, but we'll have to see. So I guess all that can be said now is that's all from me, RVG. Been a bit of a longer video, but I thought I'd just give you a quick update on the crypto landscape at the minute and how we're sort of looking going into November, and where I sort of think these different currencies will end up by then. So like I said before, if you're not into crypto and you don't really know what you're doing, link down below to Crypto.com. You'll actually get $25 for free, so you can invest that way you please. Buy some SHIB or DOGE or whatever if you fancy. You can also set up recurring purchases on there. So recurring purchases will allow you to buy week on week, so you can just fill your bank account with money or whatever, and then just let it buy out from that bank account every week, a set amount of ADA, a set amount of BNB, or whatever you want to do to your portfolio. Like I said, more links down below to my spreadsheet, so you can set up your own sort of template to be able to navigate these markets and be able to win. Because like I say, you'll never win with futures. You'll never win with trading shit like that. What you will win at is dollar cost averaging. If you don't know it, look it up. Seriously, dollar cost averaging is the safest way to do it, most proven way to do it. Fill your bag up with all these different currencies, especially while they're low, you know. We never know what the price might be in five days or 5 weeks or 5 years, you know. So dollar cost average, buy in across the board, you know. Buying up the all-time high, buying up the all-time low. Buy across the board and average it out and make sure that you're selling off at decent gains. So yeah, that's been my video. Nearly half an hour, man. Nearly half an hour. But yeah, so it's been RBG. If you've got a Zook Smoke one, you probably need it because it gets a bit hefty out there. But yeah, been good making this video and looking through the currencies. Safe one.